Yeah, this is just one of those instances where I really don't understand what the point was in releasing it. Like at that, like just fucking scrap it, honestly, at that stage. Or like release it at not 70. If that was a $30 game, I wouldn't complain that much. It's like, this feels like a cheaper game. But it's 70. Isn't it on Game Pass? That's true. If you have Game Pass, yeah, it's there. But I mean, it's still charging a $70 game otherwise. So just because you have Game Pass so you get a great deal on it doesn't necessarily mean that it's not very fucking corrupt to be charging 70 for it elsewhere. But that game probably reminds you of a lot of things because it was like the most generic, bare bones experience really in a long time. That aimed to do nothing interesting. It had no ambition at all. It didn't even have cutscenes. It just did slideshows. And not even slideshows. Typically, what a main mission cutscene would be is a single frame of the in-game characters, and then they'd pan the camera slowly. And that'd be like all you get. So it really didn't even do the most bare minimum. And it's locked 30 FPS on consoles, which is criminal. Like I said, I don't know what the fuck they were thinking with this one. There's no way people that developed this, the QA, all of them, there's no way someone didn't speak up and be like, hey guys, it's a little stinky. Do we want to try to do something else? Like, they had to. They fucking had to. Even basic pathfinding isn't here. That's what's mind-blowing to me. That's, like, the most shocking thing about the game, is it didn't have the most basic features. Like, you'd have to go out of your way to somehow not include pathfinding for your enemies. I feel like that's just, like, baked in when you program anything that can get around. I still don't think this game is worse than Crime Boss Rockhay City, though. I still think Crime Boss Rockhay City is worse, but they're both very bad. They are both just not good. At least Crime Boss Rockhay City was comically bad. It was like fun stinky. This one was an absolute headache. Yeah, I can definitely see that. That's fair. And another good counterpoint. We're having like the fucking debate club in here. Crime Boss Rockhay City was $30. This is 70. Crime Boss Rockhay City had cutscenes too. It did, yeah. I mean, and it had crazy cutscenes. It had fucking Chuck Norris and shit in it. Redfall versus Babylon's Fall, which is worse with Fall in the title? Oh, Babylon's Fall is still worse. Let's not get carried away. The game is bad. Anyone with eyes will tell you, like, this game was not good. We get it. But it's not Babylon's Fall bad. It's just not. It's not there. It's just not. Is it worse than Saints Row? Yeah. Yeah, it is, for sure. Maybe it gets good at the 40-hour mark. Oh, you just reminded me. I wanted to look up how long the game is. I really don't think it's a long game. I'm gonna guesstimate probably like 8 hours max. Oh, no, I'm wrong. According to the loadouts, it's around 18 hours. But half of these publications say that shit. They'll be like, oh, this is a 40-hour game. And then you realize it's because they get stuck on like tutorial for like 6 of those hours. I can't tell you the amount of times I'll pick up a game and chat's like, yeah, it's like 15 hours long. 6 hours later, credits roll. 8 hours. So it looks like, according to this, I'm imagining they did main story. They didn't do many side missions, is my guess. But this is what we just finished. Yeah, looking at this, it seems like they mainly just did the story, and it's 8. So already putting that article to shame about how it's 18 hours if you just do the main story. Need to address the recent trend in games being like this. Why are they being so generic, and why are we losing deep personality and characters and lore? We're getting what I would consider incomplete games that could have so much potential wasted. Well, it's not exactly like a fucking thesis research topic, honestly, man. It's simple. Making games is more expensive now than it ever has been before. It is extremely time expensive as well as financially expensive. So making a game like Crime Boss Rockhay City, like Redfall, what matters most is just getting it out. So that way you can try and make some of the money back. It's just an extremely expensive, oversaturated. That's why I think it is. I can't imagine another reason. It's easy to make something like Redfall. Easy to make all those kind of generic cookie cutter shit. You just pump them out, and now games are more expensive. So $70. Hope to make a little something on it. They're also making more money than ever before, so you can't just say it's too expensive. Stop making games people don't want, and you'll save tons of money. You're not wrong. Games make more money now than they have in the past. True. But it's also that's a big risk. It's the same reason why Hollywood just pumps out either remakes or sequels or superhero shit. Because it's safe. You know you're going to see a return. You know it's going to do well. Do you really think they started it thinking it was going to be bad? Something fucked up and they had to put it out best they could? I can tell you right now, I have played every single Arcane Studios game. I don't think I've missed any. When I looked them up, I didn't see any that I missed. Every game I have played from them is a whole different vibe than what we just got with Redfall. Like, there's passion, there's talent, there's real work in there. I didn't like Deathloop. That's fine. I thought Deathloop was underwhelming, but it wasn't bad. I would never say Deathloop was a shitty game. It had a lot that was wrong with it. But all of them, even still, even the ones like Deathloop that I wasn't a huge fan of, all of them tried to do a lot of things, and they did try unique things, and there was real talent and effort put there. There is none of that in Redfall. This really feels like it was some kind of obligation they had to fulfill. Again, yeah, if we can split hairs all you want, take, for example, an immutable fact. Redfall doesn't even have cutscenes. It has still images that they pan a camera on when they're supposed to be a cutscene. That should show you the amount of effort they put into this game. It doesn't even have cutscenes. And it's a $70 game. So, like I said, I really don't think Arcane Studios cared much for this project. They just had to do it, is my guess. At least maybe it's just copium and it's what I want to believe because they've made such bangers in the past, but I don't know what the fuck this was.